Wave your hands if you can hear me. That's right, wave your hands above your head if you're ready for a story hunt. And touch your head. Put both hands on top of your head. Okay, scratch your armpits. Scratch your armpits like you're a cheeky monkey. Right, let's try something tricky now. Pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time. That's right, pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time. Happy face, sad face. Happy face, sad face. Angry face, silly face. Hello and welcome to our story hunt today. A story hunt is a cross between a scavenger hunt and a traditional storytelling. We are going to play a game. I am going to give you 10 seconds to find an object. That object might be big or small, weird or wonderful, but in 10 seconds time, you'll come back to the screen with something that's yellow. Off you go. 10, 9, 8. Go and find something yellow and come back to the screen. It could be food, it could be a toy, a cushion, a pillow, a piece of clothing, as long as it's yellow and as long as it's back here in 7, 6, 5, 4. Coming back to the screen in 3, 2, 1, and come back to the screen. Well done. Okay, this time I'd like you to find me something red. Off you go. 10, 9, you've got the idea now. 8, 7, hurry and find that red object in 6, 5, 4, coming back to the screen in 3, 2, 1, and come back to the screen now! Okay, first time you found something yellow, second time you found something red. This time, I'd like you to find me something orange. Off you go, go and find something orange in 10, 9, 8. Hurry and find something orange as quickly as you can. 7, 6, 5, coming back to the screen in 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back to the screen now! Well done, story hunters. Parents, carers, people in charge. Thank you so much for switching our video on today. If your story hunter is enjoying adding to their story stash, then why not send a photo along with your feedback on this video to your library service. You can find out more about events and activities happening in your local library by visiting their website or following them on social media. Thank you for your support. Now, let's get story hunting. Stand up on the spot where you are. Whether you're in your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, your dining room, your bathroom. If you're on the toilet, this could be tricky, but do have a go. Stand up on the spot where you are, ready to march with me after 3. Here goes. 1, 2, 3. Chop, 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 chop. Are you marching? Chop, 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 chop. We're going on a story hunt. We're going to the library. We're super excited. But what will the story be? Can you do that with me? Of course you can. Wherever you're watching this, stand up on the spot where you are, ready to march and do the actions together after 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Chop, 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 chop. We're going on a story hunt. We're going to the library. We're super excited. But what will the story be? Well, today on our story hunt, We are going to build a den. You have got 10 seconds to find your outdoor summer clothes. So that might mean a hat, sunglasses, flip-flops, shorts, maybe a Hawaiian shirt if you've got one. You've got 10 seconds to get dressed for summer. Off you go. 10. Right, I'm going to wear a baseball cap. 9, and I've got my sunglasses. 8. Are you ready for summer? 7. As quickly as you can, come back to the screen wearing your summer clothes in 6. 5. Putting on your hats and your flip-flops, your shorts and your shirts in 4. 3, 2, 1, and come back to the screen. Right, I hope that you're all ready for our summer story hunt. Okay, now, you have got 10 seconds to find things that you might use or put in a den. So that might mean pillows and blankets to make it comfortable. It might mean food or drink. It could mean a torch or maybe a magazine or a book. You've got 10 seconds. Go and find things to put in your den. Off you go. 10. Right, I'm going to use this wonderful blanket. 9, and I've got a book. 8, and I'm going to find, have I got a torch? Let's have a look around here. 7, 6, I've got my torch as well. How are you getting on? 5, 4, hurry up and find the things that you need to put in your den in 3, 2, 1, and come back to the screen. Okay, so I've got my blanket, I've got my book and my torch. My den is going to be cozy. What about yours? Are you ready? I think I am. Right, put your hand on the door handle. That's right, pretend to put your hand on the door handle. And after 3, do the actions with me. Here goes. 1, 2, 3, out the door. Beep, bang, run for the bus. Wait for me, onto the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Off the bus, bye, up the library steps. Cha, 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 cha. Can you do that with me? Of course you can. Wherever you're watching today, pretend to put your hand on the door handle as after 3, we do those actions together. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, out the door. Beep, bang, run for the bus. Wait for me, onto the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Off the bus, bye, up the library steps. Cha, 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 cha. Now, we'll put one hand on the door handle, and we'll put the other hand on the door handle. And after 3, we'll pull. 1, 2, 3, pull! 1, 2, 3, pull! 1, 2, 3, ooh! Where are we? This doesn't look like any library I have visited before. Where are the books? Where are the computers? Let's take a closer look. Hold your hands up in front of you and wiggle your fingers. That's right, wiggle your fingers. Now turn your hands into 2 large circles and push them together as if you're holding binoculars. Now hold your binoculars up to your eyes as we look up and down, one way and the other. Can you do that with me? Of course you can. So hold your hands up in front of you, wiggle your fingers. That's right, wiggle your fingers. Turn your hands into 2 large circles. As we push those circles together, your hands become binoculars. Hold your binoculars up to your eyes as we look up and down, one way and the other. We are in the rainforest. Rainforests are beautiful green places which are home to all kinds of insects, birds and animals, including spiders, snakes, monkeys and parrots. But how can a story hunter be a wildlife hero in a rainforest? You'd have to be very clever and very brave to find out. If you think you're clever enough for our story hunt today, scratch your chin and have an idea. That's right, scratch your chin and have an idea. If you think you're brave enough for our story hunt, flex your muscles like this, flex your muscles like this, and flex your muscles like this. So if you think that you are clever enough for our story hunt, have an idea. And if you think you're brave enough for our story hunt, flex your muscles like this. And if you are ready for a rainforest story hunt, on the count of 3, wave your hands above your head and shout yay so loudly, everybody in your street, everybody in your neighborhood knows you're story hunting. You ready? 1, 2, 3, yay! Well, in that case, I think we should go this way. Stand up on the spot where you are, ready to march. Let's go. Cha, cha, cha. Are you coming? Cha, cha, cha. This way. Cha, cha, cha. This way. Oh, the trees are getting much taller and much thicker in this part of the rainforest. We'll have to push our way through. So, pushing our way into the rainforest. Pushing our way into the rainforest. God, it's hot in here. Wipe the sweat from your brow. Oh, it's so hot. Wipe the sweat from your brow. Oh no, the bushes look very prickly here. Still, we have to keep going. Ooh, ee, ow, ooh, ooh. Can you do that with me? Ready to be prickled? Here we go. Ooh, ee, ow, ooh, ooh. Well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. But the trees are all so tall and it all looks the same. I think I'm lost. I know. Let's climb a tree and see where we are. So climb the tree with me. That's right, climb the tree with me, right to the very top, and look out over the rainforest at all of the trees. Wow, the rainforest is so green. It's just trees as far as the eye can see. But it's not a quiet place, and it's teeming with wildlife. Do you know, this would be the perfect place to build our den. But all that walking through the rainforest has made me very tired and very hot. I think we should take a break before we build our dens. So sit back in the chair, cushion or pillow you've been watching our story hunt from so far, as I tell you a story I know all about a girl who liked playing in the forest. A girl lived at the edge of the forest. It was her playground, and she would spend every day exploring. Now, one day she discovered a tree she had not seen before. It was so wide she could not put her arms around it, and it was so tall she could not see the top. Can you do that with me? Of course you can. So wherever you're watching, being careful of everyone and everything around you, stretch out your arms as far as you can. Now, Stretch your arms up to the sky. Try and touch the top of the tree. Stand on tiptoes, but you still can't manage it because the tree was that tall. Give yourself a pat on the back and sit down. Thank you for joining in. Immediately, the girl began climbing the tree. She started swinging through its branches and eating the delicious fruit that hang there. Can you do that with me? So stand up on the spot where you are and let's climb and let's swing and let's eat that fruit. Are you ready? So climb that tree and swing through its branches and now eat that delicious fruit. Well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Sit down. Every day the girl would visit this tree and soon began to know every inch of it. Now one day, the girl was sitting as usual in her favourite spot, high up in the tree, eating some fruit, when a woodcutter came to the foot of the tree. He took out his sharp axe and was about to cut the tree's trunk when the girl shouted, "Stop! What are you doing? This tree has done you no harm." The woodcutter was surprised to see the girl high up in the tree. He called to her, "Come down, young lady. You might fall when this tree is cut down." But try as he might, the woodcutter could not get the girl out of the tree. The tree was the girl's friend and she was going to protect it. And so it was that as the sun set and the shadows began to lengthen, the woodcutter decided to leave. "Very well," said the woodcutter. "I will be back in the morning to cut down this tree. Perhaps you'll spend the night with your friend, but be careful that the wild animals of this forest don't make you their dinner." And with that, the woodcutter left. But the girl knew that what he said had been true, for soon the wild animals, with their sharp teeth and their long claws, would come out of the shadows and the bushes. But she was determined that the woodcutter would not cut down this tree, and so she fell asleep in its branches. Oh. Can you fall asleep too? Of course you can. So wherever you're watching, let's have a big yawn. Ooh. And now show me your pillows and well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Once the girl was asleep, from out of the shadows, the wild animals with their sharp teeth and their long claws came. They prowled around the foot of the tree. The girl would make an easy meal. They were about to have their dinner when the tree called out, "Stop!" For what the girl and the woodcutter could not have known was that this was a magical tree. The tree spoke to the wild animals. "I will decide who is eaten tonight." And with that, he reached up into an abandoned bird nest high in his canopy and took from it a single feather and began to tickle, 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 tickle the sleeping girl. Can you be tickled too? So wherever you're watching this, let's see you worming and squirming and tickling. Well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. And as she was tickled, the girl Choo! Sneezed. And as she sneezed, the tree could see her dreams. And the tree could see that the girl had a kind heart. For although she was frightened of being eaten by wild animals, she was dreaming of the good times she had had in the tree, climbing and swinging and eating delicious fruit. The tree turned to the wild animals. No, this one is not for you. Be gone and find your meal elsewhere. And with their tails between their legs, the wild animals left the girl to sleep. The next morning, the girl was amazed when she woke and found a purse of gold coins in her lap. The tree had given her a gift. Later that morning, the woodcutter returned to the foot of the tree and found the girl sitting, waving her bag of gold coins. Now the woodcutter was a greedy man and immediately forgot about the tree and focused on the girl's coins. "Where did you get those coins from?" he asked the girl. "Why," said the girl as honestly as she could, "I believe that this tree has given me a gift." The woodcutter began climbing the tree, trying to get at the coins. "Give me your coins," he called. The girl panicked. She leapt from the tree's branch and ran all the way back to her village. So now the woodcutter was all alone with the tree. He picked up his sharp axe. He was about to cut it down when he stopped. What if that girl was telling the truth? What if this tree had given her a gift? Well, there was only one way to find out. And so, as the sun set, the woodcutter climbed up into the tree's branches and fell asleep. Can you fall asleep again? Of course you can. You ready? So big yawns. And and once he was asleep, the wild animals, with their sharp teeth and their long claws, prowled about the foot of the tree. This would be an easy meal. They were about to have their dinner when once again the tree called, "Stop! I will decide who is eaten tonight." And once again the tree reached up into its canopy and took that feather and tickled, 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 tickled the woodcutter. Can you be tickled too? So you ready? Let's see you worming and squirming and tickling and of course, choo! The woodcutter sneezed. And as he did, the tree could see his dreams. But he was not good or kind, the tree found. He was dreaming of that bag of gold coins and the gift the tree would give to him. And the tree turned to the wild animals and said, "Dinner time! Give yourselves a big pat on the back and take a round of applause. Thank you for joining in with our story. I think that actually The rainforest probably isn't the best place for our den, not if there are wild animals about after dark. Perhaps you could build a den in your bedroom or even a garden or a park. But a story hunter can be a wildlife hero and help to protect the plants and trees of the rainforest by doing simple things like recycling their rubbish, so that the trees of the rainforest are protected for now and the future. Once again, you've proved yourselves very clever, very brave story hunters, and I look forward to joining you for another story hunt soon. That's the end of our story hunt today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you took any photos or have any feedback, send it to your library service. To find out more about events and activities happening in your local library this summer, visit their website or follow them on social media. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!
Oi, oi, oi.